Hi, this is the DNA-CHAP channel. My name's Dan, and this is where I cover my journey on a carnivore diet and my training whilst on a carnivore diet. This is Wednesday. It's a rest day for me while I'm running 6 days a week, and I am now into week 2 of my training with a coach Stazza from Stazza Stable, John Starrett. So before you get into any specific training for race distances or paces or anything like that, we start on the pre-super base, which is basically some complementary exercises, workouts, running workouts and drills that are to help slow runners like me to become faster runners, to become more economical runners and running with proper technique. So basically, if you're a slow runner, you're what John calls a shuffler, which just means you're hip flexor dominant. And if you want to be running fast, then you need to be engaging your glutes and your hamstrings. So the first part of the pre-super base is all about engaging and doing some specific workouts to bring those in. So those workouts have been, which I started last week, and I've done one this week. So I started with basically some kind of strides. So yeah, I did 5 times 30-second strides at around a 5k a foot, and I did 3 lots of those with 3-minute rest in between, or jog in between. That was the first week, and this week I've done 5 times the same, but 40-second strides, so 10 seconds longer. And I assume the next week will be similar, an extension in distance, but a similar workout. The complementary exercise, and actually the one that's supposed to have the magic that will help me to start running faster, are called hill blasts. So hill blasts are 8-second hills, running fast, not flat out, but with good form. And an example would be like a 400-meter runner coming down the home straight. And to get you working with correct form, there are some running drills. I did some running drills beforehand, 3 different types of running drills with some short strides, drills like high knees and straight leg marching, and some I think you might call them I think it's a C skip drill. None of those I've done before, so they were kind of interesting to bring in. and try for the first time. Felt very awkward, but yeah, the point of them being that they kind of help you to think about how you're supposed to be moving your legs properly. If you do those drills correctly, then you start to realize how the body works, how your proper running form should work when you're running fast. The other thing that instructions with the hill blast is a particular form or way of thinking about it is to run tall, relax shoulders, pumping your arms so they're moving forward, everything's moving forward, your arms are coming through, swinging, shoulders swinging back, fists coming forward, all in a straight line, and your feet are popping. This just means that they're coming up and coming down and hitting the ground with a quick turnover. And what with doing the drills beforehand and then doing the 8-second hill blasts, which aren't very long, and I'm thinking about all the different things all at the same time, didn't really have consciously take in what I was doing or how my legs were moving. But as another example that John gave was that you should, whilst you're doing them, you should start to feel like you're a bit like you're cycling uphill. And as I didn't really pay much attention to that while I was doing the 8 seconds blast. I had so much going through my head anyway. But I enjoyed them. It's fun to run fast for a very short amount of time, which doesn't really take too much out of you, and then you have a 2.5 minute walk recovery afterwards so that you fully recover before you start the next one. And what I did notice, which is strange because I couldn't tell you, I never thought about how I've been running before, or how my legs are moving. But shortly after, I suppose with having all the different, with having a notion of how my legs should be moving, where my feet should be coming down, my knees coming through and all of that, then I did notice shortly after, I think it was definitely the next day I run, is that kind of cycling feeling of, let's say if you're cycling a bike, you push down on the pedal, your foot comes down, you put effort into the foot coming down, and then you foot moving through, and then it comes up, your heel comes up and your knee comes through high, and it all comes round and keeps cycling around. And that's pretty much, obviously it's different because you're running, but that's how it works when you're running with good form. Your knee comes through high, your foot comes down under your body. When it comes down, it lands and it pulls you through, and then elasticity brings your heel up and close to your bum, and then depending on how fast you are going, and through again. And that technique means that you're then using your glutes, you start to use your glutes, and it opens up your hip flexors, so that you should then begin to start to run faster. And I can't say that it's had any major immediate effects, but I definitely feel that I'm aware of how I should be running, and I'm kind of using that technique, and it feels easier to run. And yeah, I'm kind of interested and excited to see how much difference it will make. I think this phase could last 5+ weeks. Although essentially for me, I'm not really aiming for a particular race date because I haven't got anything set. I just want to get quicker. I think really the most fun I've had when I've been racing are 10 milers and half marathons even. So if I can get quicker at those distances, I'd be happy. And then, as I said in the last video, my thoughts are that if I can get up to a particular pace, and this is how John works, is that he'll get you faster. The idea is you get faster and you get up to a faster half marathon pace. That would then indicate that you could run a sub 3 hour marathon. So for a sub 3 marathon, you'd need a half marathon time of 1 hour 25 minutes. You double that and add 10 minutes, that gives you 3 hours. So I suppose you'd want to be at under 1 hour 25 ideally. And I think that's my thinking. So I'm more than happy just to train for a half marathon. Keep getting my pace down. Half marathon 10 miler, and try and get it down as quick as I can, so that assuming I get down low enough, I can easily come under 3 hours, and I'm not just like scraping in. I'd much rather be confident, because a marathon is not really my aim. It's not really my favourite distance. And I know it would be pretty painful to do it, regardless of what time you do. It's very, it's exhausting basically. Training and racing. So I think I'd like to do it, make sure that I'm well under 185 for a half marathon, or not 185, 85 for a half marathon. So that my 3 hour attempt would be well under. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure. So that's basically what this first block is all about. Then after that you go into the super base, which is the next training block. I'll talk about that when I get there. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you like my explanation of what I've been doing, what I'm doing currently. Give me a like, subscribe, share the video. Hope you've had a good week. And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.